George Orwell's Animal Farm is an allegorical novel which tries to depict to us the Russian Bolshevik Revolution and the rise of Joseph Stalin. The political fable is a story about a group of farm animals who are sick of being mistreated and taken advantage of from the owner of the farm and decide to revolt. From this revolution, the animals hope to create a safe, happy, and equal society in which a leader does what is right for the animals themselves. In any good text, you can always locate and talk about the themes that are within it. So that is what I will be presenting to you today in this oral presentation. The key themes that make this book a classic, as well as a story which helps us better understand the horrors that took place in communist Russia. Power and control is one of the most centralized ideas/themes in Animal Farm. Orwell explores many different types of power in the book, but always keeps coming back to political power. How people use their authority to take advantage of others. When they had finished their confessions, the dogs promptly tore their throats out, and in a terrible voice, Napoleon demanded whether any other animals had anything else to confess. The pigs, in particular Napoleon, used multiple methods to keep the other animals under his control, like fear tactics, driving out anyone who disagrees with him, and violence. If we link this back to the Russian Revolution, Stalin used these same tactics to make sure that he became leader and stayed as the leader too. He eliminated all likely potential opposition to his leadership and used the campaign The Great Purge or the Great Terror to kill millions of innocent Soviet citizens or sent them off to labor camps to make sure no one would overthrow him. The scene in the book and The Great Purge are very alike and show how Napoleon and Stalin maintained control in their respective great lands. With power and control can often come corruption. Orwell explores many a time the idea that power leads to corruption. During the novella, characters are corrupted with a sense of power and take advantage of said power. It was about this time that the pigs suddenly moved into their farmhouse and took up their residency there. It was absolutely necessary, he said, that the pigs, who were the brains of the farm, should have a quiet place to work in. It was also more suited to the dignity of the leader, who for of late he had taken to speaking of Napoleon under the title of leader, to live in a house than in a mere sty. Because the pigs who were the leaders of this farm were far more intelligent than the other animals and had too much power than they knew what to do with it, what used to be considered unconstitutional became accepted in the society. Corruption is placed all throughout Animal Farm, and it really reflects the corruption that was injected throughout Stalin's reign over Soviet Russia. Orwell really makes sure that we understand the corruption that occurred during the Soviet reign, and how power usually always leads to corruption. Some people say naivety is good. It can hide the dark truths of the world, and in turn can make you happier. But if leaders catch onto the fact that most of their populace is naive, people in positions of power can exploit that easily to control and maintain the citizens of a place. George Orwell shows us in the book how frequently the leaders of the farm, the pigs, exploit this naivety to benefit themselves instead of the whole group, which was what the whole revolution was really about. Milk and apples. This has been proven by science, comrades. Contain substances absolutely needed for the well-being of the pig. The whole management and organization of this farm depend on us. It is for your sake that we drink that milk and eat those apples. The pigs deliberately exploited the naivety of the group on multiple occasions to elevate their agenda. Stalin did this too by setting up fake trials to imprison or kill any and all of his opponents. Napoleon and Stalin are virtually the same person. They looked good at the start, but towards the end of their reign, they had turned into nauseating beings. Animal Farm is an incredibly important book. It's a book of many themes that educates the entire world in the horrors that took place during and after the Russian Revolution, when leaders like Joseph Stalin and Vladimir Lenin took leadership positions. Some of the key themes in the book that are still relevant today pop up in every corner. Some of the more key themes are power and control, corruption, and naivety. These themes together led to the rise of vicious dictators in Russia and on Manor Farm. Without this book, many generations will and would have not fully comprehended what happened in Soviet Russia. This book will always be known as a classic.